Hi, fellow traders. Hope everybody had a good day today. It was a little bit slower today. Not a whole lot of action or excitement going on. There were a few good trades, but not the day we had on Wednesday. Did take one trade out of my small account. Didn't really have any follow through. Couldn't really find any good trades today in the price range that I'm looking at. For this account, I'm looking in the price range of $15 to $50. And, with $50 stock, I could trade 100 shares. And if we've got $1 or $2 range somewhere in there, then it only makes sense. So I couldn't really find anything. I did find one that I should have taken it in my small account, but of course, greed takes over. I saw a potential $1,000 trade, so I took it in Speed Trader and kind of neglected this. I actually thought I would find a reversal or two to trade out of the small account the rest of the day, but nothing really set up, nothing really hit. So didn't really do much today. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone with this video. I'm going to cover the small account trade and then the one I took in Speed Trader afterwards. But SUM was on my watch list this morning, and I'm going to show you. Let's go to. This was a 5-minute chart, and this is pre-market right here, and this is what I was looking at pre-market. And excuse me, this level 2084 was significant to me because when I looked at the daily chart here, when I was drawing my support and resistance lines, this 2084, let me take today's candle off. And this is the way it looked this morning. This 2084, I felt was going to be support. And that if I did get a short, I could get a short down to the support, possibly short it at the open on an open range breakdown, and then catch it long off of this support. But then when I started looking at the 5-minute chart, here it is, the 5-minute chart, I realized I'd already lost this level. So looking at it short really wouldn't make any sense. This was a opening range breakout trade all the way, so I was looking long for possibly a move up to 2133, which was the next level of that I came to. And this, would have been the daily resistance here. So this was my main watch coming out of the gates. Hold on a second. This was the main watch, coming out of the gates. And you can see here, this did a perfect 15-minute open range breakout. But I was looking at the 5-minute, and once it didn't set up on the 5-minute, then I started thinking, well, shoot, I can take it off this level here. And I said, no, the price action was kind of making me second guess myself. This was a perfect. I could have taken it here, risking on 2084, just taking it off this level here for the push up, or I could have waited for it to break the 15-minute opening range, or the 5-minute and the 15-minute opening range is pretty much the same. So I could have taken it here, but I, kind of paused and missed it. This was what I was looking at, and this would have been a nice move from 2110 was where I could have gotten in. I just kind of hesitated a bit, and it took off on me. All the way up to 2140s. I could have gotten out here. There was enough volatility in here for me to get out, or this level right here would have been my ultimate target anyway. But I missed this trade, so I watched it for a little bit, and I waited for the pullback to VWAP because I anticipated this pulling back to VWAP at some point and then, making a move up. So what I was looking at here was, let me change the drawings here. Drop my trend line. So what I was looking at here was this pattern. This was gearing up. We were making higher lows. And then get this, and then it was making, somewhat making lower highs, except for this candle here. So this, to me, this is a bullish this is a bullish formation to me. And what it was doing as this was coming up, it was squeezing it into the 9, into the 20 moving average. And a lot of times when it gets squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, you get a pop. And so I thought I had missed it here on this pop, because we got a nice pop up to 21, 22 or something like that. A nice pop on this. And I was like, damn, I missed this thing. But then it pulled back and consolidated again within that tight range. So that's what I was looking at. And this is the trade that you're going to see me take. So let me go ahead and roll the tape. And you're going to see me enter. Looking at level 2, I want to put there's only a 1 cent spread. So I don't mind throwing my order right here on the ask. So that will ensure me to get filled at the price that I want to get filled at. So right now it's at 17. I'm going to drop it down to 16 because we're, kind of stuck at 16. And I get immediate fills. So I'm not sitting here waiting to see if it gets filled or if it's going to jump over. For my measly 500 shares, there was plenty of activity here, at 21.16. But prior to this, all through this consolidation, and remember we drew the trend lines here, all through this consolidation, there were a lot of sellers getting taken out at 21.15. And I was sitting here just watching the prints, watching the prints, watching the prints. And so when 21.15 cracked, I felt safe getting in. So that's why I went ahead and took the trade when I did, right here at 21.16. And so then it started chewing through a lot of these 21.16 prints. And, I figured looking at all of the buyers that we have and looking at the sellers, these sellers were just getting taken out left and right. We still had a lot of buyers at 21.15 after we chewed through all of the 15 buyers. Now we don't have a whole lot of 16s, but eventually these are going to get taken out. And it took a lot longer than I wanted it to. I anticipated once these 21.15s got taken out, then we would be good to go. But then you see here, now we're back on 21.15. I don't know where all these sellers came. They just, came out of nowhere again. And so we're back chewing through 21.15. But I still feel good about this trade. I still feel good about the setup and the pattern that I see. I see this a lot with these mid-range stocks on up. I mean, all price ranges I see them on. And when it forms that wedge, it looks like, it's going to pop. Every time, 70% of the time, it pops to the upside. Plus, I'm watching time and sales and level 2 to, watch to make sure that what I'm seeing is actually happening. So we're still chewing through some more 2115s, and I had to wait through all of this. But I knew once it took these guys out, that this thing had a chance to run. And my expectation was it was going to run up here to like the 2140s at this the 200 moving average here. Make this bigger. So you can see how long I had to sit here and wait. I've already been in the trade, I think 5 minutes or so now. So here now we're starting to get some movement. We're back at 2116 on the ask. So we're going to try to wait to get these 16s taken out. And just keep watching time and sales. Because even though, we're getting all these people stacked up on the ask, and it's kind of getting me to thinking that, maybe this thing isn't going to go. Maybe this was this is going to be a false breakout, because it was having so much trouble getting through 16 and 15. I watched it for about 10 or 15 minutes, chewing through 2115. So here I'm thinking, well, maybe this is a bad decision. And I think I almost clicked it here. I almost took it, put an order in at 16 just to try to take it at break even. So the only thing it would have cost me was, commissions. Because normally when you see these things and it's gotten to be this tight that it squeezed and squeezed, and you've got a couple pop-ups and it still hasn't failed, the VWAP here, it still hasn't failed this level and started to sell off, then you're going to get this pop. And so that's really what I was looking for. I had no idea it had all of these, that kept popping up for us to have to try to get through. And we're going to be going on, maybe 10 minutes or so with me being in this trade before, we get the move that we were looking for. Now, at this point, I'm really feeling bad about this trade. Look at all of these sellers stacking up. And I'm thinking they're just going to take these buyers out one by one, and this thing is just going to keep dropping. So my finger's on the trigger here. I'm almost thinking I just need to click this. That this is probably going to go. You may see me, see me right here. I'm about to click sell. I'm about to click 16 and get out, break even. And then all of a sudden, these guys disappeared. And then now we got 17. So you see me, I still got my finger on the trigger. But then I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait. These guys disappeared. And then we started seeing some buyers coming in over here. So I gave it a chance. And you're going to see, just watching this time and sales and watching level 2, you'll see, how we get these battles between buyers and sellers. And then once one group starts to get taken out, if the sellers take over, then it's going to fade. If the sellers continue to take out all these buyers, then the stock's going to fade. If the buyers take out the sellers, then the price is going to keep going up. All right, so I'm going to bump it up just a little bit here. All right, now we're starting to see some movement. We're at 21.19. At 21.17, 21.19. I'm at break even right now. So I'm still thinking, this thing just does not seem like it wants to go. It just doesn't. But I'm in the trade. We've got the move here over the moving averages. This candle closed above it, but then this candle opened weak. And a lot of times when that opens weak, that means we're probably not going to hold this level. So doubt is still creeping into my mind right now. And anything that I don't see right at this point, I'm going to get out of the trade. Even though, let's see, I'm only up 2 cents, that's $10. Even though I'm only up $10, it doesn't matter. If I don't like what I'm seeing, if I start to see something that doesn't really make sense, then I'm going to jump out of the trade. At this point, it doesn't, even though I have my stop, which is below these levels, if you see something in the price action and you're not profitable yet, don't sit there and let yourself get stopped out. Take the trade off and hit the reset button. And if it comes back and sets up again off the same level that you were looking at before, then take the trade. You haven't lost anything. The only thing you're going to lose is commissions. And if it doesn't work when you take it, then, you tried. It was a setup. You stuck to your rules. You stopped out when you were supposed to. So everything was everything. That's all that matters. So this was definitely a slower moving trade, because normally when it pops, we get some movement like this that we got it to open. And that's really, I was looking for some big candles running right up into the 40s where I could take it off. But we're just not getting that. Okay, here we got 21. And, market makers will stack people on the ask just to kind of fake you out sometimes. And this is what was happening a lot. We would get all of these people stuck on the ask, but they kept getting taken out. You don't see as many, buyers as you do sellers at this price. But the buyers kept taking them out. They kept driving the price up. It's the only thing I don't like about this software is it doesn't have fast forward on it. But it's free, so what can you do? Just have to work with it. And these are the type trades that if you're a new trader will drive you insane, because it's not moving. You get up 20 bucks and you're probably clicking. It's like, man, I got commissions covered. this trade is working my nerves, and I need to get out of it. So I'm going to get out of it, and I'll take my $5 profit, because that's about all you're going to make on this thing is $5. And do I advocate growing your account $5 at a time? No, I do not. Now, if you were in a trade and it was going against you and you had clear signals and it wasn't making any sense for you just to hold it to get stopped out, and you make $5, then hey, great. But making $5 just to make $5 in your account is not going to get you anywhere. But if you look at 6-7 times if your goal is 6 or 7 times your commissions, then as you take winning trades, your equity is going to continue to build up. See, finally we're at 22 now. I'm waiting for them to take 22 out, get to 23. Even me having all the patience in the world, I'm going a little crazy right now because this should have taken off. And so it's got a tight leash. It's on a tight leash. You can see I think I put 21 in here because I was just tired. This was supposed to go. And anytime you get stuff like this, that's just taking a long time to get up there, you're going to get a move like this to the downside, which will not allow you to get out until maybe back to break even. And so this is kind of how the trade just went. It just kept going on and on and on, slowly grinding up. Slowly grinding up. And, eventually I started seeing a lot of people stacked up here on the, starting to stack up here on the ask. And it caused me to get out of this trade. And you're going to see, these guys are going to disappear. Yeah, almost immediately those guys disappeared. So I went ahead and took it off. I'm like, they're gonna run this thing down, because I didn't like much of what it did. And actually, if you look at let me go to the chart now. If you look at the chart now, where we traded it, it really didn't get any better. Because this was the pullback. This was a little breakout we traded. It got up. It did get up to 21.30. Then it pulled back and flatlined. So what I was seeing, was kind of right on point. So I only gave up a few cents. It only popped up a few cents after I got out, which was on this candle here. And, eventually it came back, and it did give us a good trade, another push, another little mini breakout here. And it actually pushed through the 200 and everything. But I was looking at another stock at the time, and I wasn't really focused on this. But that was a nice trade. This one was a lot better than the one that we took. So there was no harm in me getting out when I did, because it really didn't go anywhere. There was nothing that I did it didn't scare me out. I was very patient. Even though I had the desire to get out, I just kept watching the price action and let the price action tell me where I needed to go. This is another depiction of it on my Thinkorswim chart, which I think you can see better, and that's why I use this as charting. You can see this was a move up, and it didn't even get to 2133, which was this level here. Didn't even make it there. It started turning, and that's when I caught it and got out. The next trade, and this was the one that was, I saw the greed in my eyes. This was a beautiful, beautiful reversal setup. Doesn't get any more picture perfect than that. You had increase in volume. You had volume die off here, but then as it faded some more, you had increase in selling volume. We had a little hiccup here, but it faded down to this 51 level. And this is where I wanted to see it hit. I wanted to see it get down to this 51 level, because what it does is it stretches the rubber band out tighter. It gave time for everything to really set up and come into play. So I was looking at it, and because this 51.26 level was here and it based here for a 5-minute deal, I just waited until it pushed that level, and I got in right above it, because I could define my risk off of this level, 51.26, or I could let it go back down to 51.06. I had two choices, but it took off and I was able to make my first cover. So then my stop automatically became this 51.26 level, because I got in at 51.28 and took some off here at 51.70. Covered again just over this 51.94 level, which should have been my first cover. But anytime I cover some too early or sell too early, I'm going to have to wait for this to go past this level so I could sell another piece in order to compensate for it. So I got this, it pushed up some more. I was looking for the 20, which was my next target. And also, the reason why I said 51.94 was because the 20 was right here as well. So the 20 is always my first target on a reversal trade. So I went ahead and took it, got here, because not only was this level here, but the 20 was here. And a lot of times you'll see these reversals fail at the 9 and pull back. But this one was pretty strong. It pushed through. I was able to sell another piece here at the 20. And then I held and was using the 20 as my guide up to the VWAP. And that's where I dumped the last shares right here. But actually on the way up, I tried to get out at 53.45. Got hit with 100 shares and then had to wait because the other ones never did hit. And I was having issues again, even though I was in Speed Trader. I was having issues with my order being hit. It never did hit the 45. I even brought it down to 40 when we got a little pullback, and it wasn't even hitting at 40. So when it went up, it was at, I think, 53, 58 or 59, somewhere in there, and I just marketed it out, and it filled me at 51, I believe, at 53.51. So it was a super trade, perfect reversal. You can't, it doesn't get any more picture perfect than that. The only thing is, if I had traded it out, the small account, I would have only caught this first move, because I would have had to sell the 100 shares here, versus trying to hold it to see if we get to the next level. Because remember, our number one priority in that account is to grow it. And we can't take additional risk. If we get $95, we got to take it if that's the first plan move that we had, because this could have very easily hit the 9, turned around, and come back. And if that would have happened, I I wouldn't have been able to book profits. I'd have gave it all back, and we just can't afford to do that. So that was my day. It wasn't, that exciting. Just one of those days where you had to find what you could, catch a good trade, grind out the rest. Oh, I did take another trade on this. I forgot. I was looking for the breakdown. Failed VWAP. So I got in under this level here at 53.05, looking for the breakdown. And I thought it was coming because you can see the 9 and the 20 crossed under. And I thought we were going to get, the push. It kind of fooled me here that it was coming. But you can see it just never faded. And I ended up getting out of it break even. And I just held it forever. There was no reason to get out. My stop was going to be a close over VWAP. So, it never closed above it. But I could have added to it and then taken some off down here to get some profit. But actually fell asleep. So missed it. Missed my chance to add up there. So that's the bad thing about having slow, boring trades. That if you get in it and it's after lunch, you're probably going to doze off. So you don't want to get caught into that. So that was my day. We're looking, hopefully we'll have a good day Friday. Get some more, couple of good trades that we can look at. I'm going to be out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so I won't be trading at all. I may be in the chat, in and out, but I won't be trading Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I'll be back Thursday. But I will be here tomorrow, and hopefully we can end the week strong. So everybody have a great evening, a great night. We'll see everybody tomorrow in chat.